Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Paddy G YouTube channel. As always, make sure you smash that like button if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe so you don't miss any NRL and State of Origin content coming your way. Make sure you drop a comment down below. What are your thoughts on the State of Origin official teams for Game 1 of this series? Yes, they are out. Yes, we are reacting to them right now. They dropped this morning. I've been at work, I've gathered some thoughts, and it's time to talk all things State of Origin footy because, well, Queensland have done a New South Wales, and New South Wales have done a Queensland. All controversial, Billy Slater, drastic changes that we don't normally see from Queensland. A lot of people aren't happy with the Blues team, but let's talk about it. So here it is, the Queensland team for State of Origin Game 1. At fullback is Reece Walsh. On the wings, Selwyn Cobbo, and the luckiest man in world sport, Murray Taulagi. In the centres, Val Holmes and Hamiso Tabuai-Fidow. The halves, Cameron Munster and Daly Cherry-Evans. The front row is Tom Flegler and Lindsay Collins. Ben Hunt is the starting number 9. The back row is Tom Gilbert, Dave Fafita. Paddy Carrigan is starting at 13. On the bench is Harry Grant, Big Tino, Reuben Cotter, Jai Arrow, and the reserves are Tom Dearden and Christian Welsh. First things first, thank God from a New South Wales perspective, this is the team they have picked. And that's no knock on anyone in this team. It's just compared to the team that I personally had. I know Felice Kafusi is going to be unavailable due to suspension, but compare this team to the one that I had picked, you can probably find it in the top right corner. I'll put a link to it. Thank God we're playing this team compared to that team, because I just think that Billy Slater, I don't want to say he's getting too big for his own boots, but damn, he's made some big calls here. I mean, Kalen Ponga, first of all. From a New South Wales perspective, thank God he's picked Reece Walsh over Kalen Ponga. Now, it sucks for my Manly Seagulls, who are going to have to go and deal with both Kalen Ponga and Dane Gagai this weekend. But last year, in my opinion, he was the best player of the series. No fullback for Queensland, even in that 2020 series that we lost, has outplayed James Tedesco. Kalen Ponga ran circles around James Tedesco last series. He had to be there, and Reece Walsh has been good. But honestly, I think the Hammer's probably been in just as good a form. So I would have put him at fullback. The Hammer in the centres, look, I would have gone Dane Gagai. Val Holmes is probably going to be on the left-hand side, so he's going to be defending Tommy Turbo. That means the Hammer, a fullback / winger, a guy who's made no tackles compared to what we've seen Dane Gagai do in Origin, is going to be marking Latrell Mitchell. That's a big ask. Now, I bet he has more attacking upside than a Kalen Ponga or a Dane Gagai, but defensively, man, he is in for one hell of a game. He is in for the defensive night of his life now. In 21, Game 3, he did a pretty good job up against Tom Trbojevic, but Tommy's more of a roamer. He's going to do damage elsewhere on the field. Latrell Mitchell thrives in a one-on-one centre situation. We saw him dominate Dane Gagai, of course, so maybe that goes against my point, but we saw him dominate Gagai. We saw him dominate Chambers. This guy's a freak. In my opinion, his odds for play of the series have just gone up due to this game. So, you know, good luck to the Hammer, Murray Taulagi. Don't know how he's there. I would have gone with the Hammer on the wing, Gagai on the centres. I would have gone Xavier Coates. I would have gone Philip Sami. There are a lot of guys who I would have gone before Taulagi. I just don't think he's been at that level this year. And, you know, he's a winger, so he can probably flick the switch on pretty easily. But, man, that's a weird selection. The halves picked themselves, obviously. Tommy Flegler, he wasn't in my front row. And Lindsay Collins was actually on my bench. So 2 surprises there in the starting side for me. Ben Hunt at number 9. Definitely agree with that. The back row, Tommy Gilbert on an edge. I get it. And then Dave Fafita, I had him starting too. He's going to be a wrecking ball. New South Wales have to start Cameron Murray on the right just to contain that man, because Dave Fafita, he's in better form than when he signed that $1.2 million contract. Paddy Carrigan, here's the obvious choice at number 13. The bench, Harry Grant, makes sense. Surprised Big Tino's not starting, and I'm surprised Reuben Cotter isn't starting. If you got Flegler, Collins, and then Tino Cotter on the bench, I know which pair I'm starting. Personally, I didn't have Cotter in my side. I'm assuming he's just going to have the role that I had Tom Gilbert do in my team. Jai Arrow on the bench as well. Look, an injury-riddled start. This is probably where Queensland actually have gone back to loyalty, but then on the bench. Tommy Dearden was never going to overtake Munster or DCE, but Christian Welch, a guy Billy Slater has played with, a guy that Billy Slater has talked so highly of, he's left him out of the side, and honestly, we saw what Melbourne did to the Brisbane Broncos on the back of Christian Welch. In that game, in my opinion, Christian Welch dominated Tommy Flegler and, of course, Payne Haas and Paddy Carrigan. So it's an interesting side. Queensland, where's the loyalty now? I can't believe they've dropped some players. I kind of get the Kalyn Ponga one. The Dane Gagai one really surprises me. There was calls after he really got dominated by Matty Burton in Game 2 last year. And then he came out and Matt Burton was a non-factor in that decider. So it's honestly, it's weird. It's weird saying Queensland. It feels like they've gone the New South Wales route of things. But in saying that, you still got a guy there like Jai Arrow on the bench. Like I said, my teams have been in the top right. I'm going to stop comparing them. But that's what I like to do. So no Ponga, no Gagai. Good for New South Welshman. Billy Slater, where's the loyalty, brother? Now we move on to the New South Wales Blues. And the Blues, they've done a bit of a Queensland. Maybe Freddie has learned from his mistakes, but a lot of people aren't happy. Fullback is James Tedesco. On the wings, Brian To'o. And the Fox returns to the Origin Arena. The centres are Latrell Mitchell and Tom Trbojevic. The halves are Jerome Luai and Nathan Cleary. The front row starting next to Payne Haas is Tavita Pangai Jr. The number 9 is Abby Coruscant. The back row is Tyson Frizzell, Hudson Young and Isaiah Yeo. And the bench is Junior Bolo, Cameron Murray, Liam Martin and Nico Hines. Now, this isn't official yet. I do not think this New South Wales team, so I could be wrong. Personally, I think Cameron Murray will come into the starting side on that right-hand side and replace Tyson Frizzell, who will drop to the bench. Look, it's a damn good side. I mean, this is the backline. You're putting a Blues best backline of all time. This is as close as you're ever going to get to a core of 5 players being there together. Tedesco, he hasn't been in the greatest form, but damn, he played really well against the Dragons. Brian To'o, in my opinion, he has to be there with all the talks of all these young guys. Like, obviously, you know what? Let's just get out of the way. Campbell Graham. Personally, I had Graham on the wing over Josh Addo-Carr. I can't hate Freddie too much for going loyal to the Fox. I mean, it was just at the World Cup we were saying he has to be there. He's got to be in there no matter what. Rugby league opinions change, time changes. Very New South Wales to go with Campbell Graham like I did, but they've gone the Fox, the Latrell and Tom Trbojevic. Now, I had Tom in there before that Raiders game, but he cemented himself with that one. Latrell's been in there since round 1. Latrell's going to be the centres. A lot of people keep saying he's unfit, but you know what? He might be. But he's still fit enough to play 80 minutes at fullback. Imagine what he can do in the centres outside of the man he's set up. That 2021 series for him, Jerome Luai, Nathan Cleary. That was the halves combo I went with. Glad to see it sticking. The biggest bolter in this team, Tavita Pangai Jr. Didn't see this coming. When I saw he was going to be in the side, I was like, you know what? Off the bench, this could be really good for New South Wales. He's starting next to Payne Haas. I think Tavita's going to play the first 10, 15, maybe just go out there and try to bash people before Cameron Murray comes on to the field. If he does come off the bench, I could see that. So maybe that's why Murray's on the bench, and then you just play Yo as like a front rower. So glad to see Hudson Young get a debut. To be honest, I would have gone Olakau'atu, but Hudson Young, looking at what Tarek Sims did in 2021, he could probably just play that role, and he is better than Tarek Sims was on form going into that game. Hudson Young could kill it for New South Wales. We need some mongrel. He could be the man to provide it. The lock is Isaiah Yeo. The bench, like I said, for now, it's Bolo, Murray, Martin, and Nico Hines. The reserves are Crichton and Olakau'atu. So the biggest omissions are obviously Campbell Graham. He's the big one. Would have been very New South Wales to chuck him in there, and everyone had him in there. I had him over the Fox. Like I said, I had Tom in there, but I can understand it. The Fox did nothing to really ruin his hopes with that performance on the weekend. Tom Trbojevic, I mean, at the end of the day, I might get hate for this. Tom Trbojevic is arguably the best Blues player ever, and his ceiling will forever be higher than Campbell Graham's. You're down by 10. Who do you want? A fully fit Tom or a fully fit Graham? That sounds so mean, so nasty, but there it is. The number 9, Now, Damien Cook was probably the hardest phone call for Freddie to make. He's been a mainstay since 2018. I had Upper Coruscant in there personally. I had Cookie on the bench, but I can understand why they've gone one utility. It was probably the most controversial part of my team. But yeah, no Damien Cook. The Saifidi brothers, they were rumoured to be there, especially Daniel, but they've gone TPJ. The more I think about TPJ and Origin, I know he might be capable of a Barry Crocker. Let's be honest. You know, it took a while for him to get in the game for the Bulldogs against, no disrespect, the Gold Coast Titans. But Tavita Pangai Jr. at his best could be so lethal, so good for New South Wales. He might just go out there, Freddie might just, but bro, don't even think about taking a hit up. Just go charge at them, just be aggressive, and that's what I can't wait to see. The good thing is we got Payne Haas, we got Isaiah, they can all play big minutes. We got Murray, he's probably going to play as close to 80 if he starts. Probably as close to 80 even if he comes off the bench. Stephen Crichton, the 18th man, not a bad decision. A guy who can cover that whole back five, especially touching wood here when you got Tommy Travojevic and Josh Adokar there. But yeah, honestly, it's weird. New South Wales have done the Queensland thing. Queensland have done the New South Wales. I've probably made no sense this video. Feels like I stumbled over my words a couple times. But ladies and gentlemen, let me know in that comment section, what do you think of the State of Origin teams for Game 1? Drop a comment down below. Smash that like button if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you in the next one. Friday Night Footy.